in his press conference post-cabinet on Thursday when he come to tell you that he buy a ticket from Barbados to go Barbados long time since April 14th. But the Brent Thomas issue come up and he rush into Barbados and he said, no, I come to tell all you, you look, I have my ticket right here. He said, as usual, I come to tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. That what Rowley say on Thursday. And then proceed to tell all you, his government had nothing to do with the abduction of Brent Thomas. It's the police. It's a police matter. Yes? How the police got to leave the country? For police to leave the country on active duty, there must be a cabinet note. There must be approval from a specific vote to pay for those tickets and to get the approval of the cabinet and the Minister of National Security to travel. How the police got on a plane? The police have a plane? All they do is have an air guard. The PNM suffer the air guard till they don't exist. How they got on the plane? How they got a flight plan to go to Barbados? How they landed in Barbados and came out? Who instructed Barbados police to carry out, to go in a man's hotel room, wake him up and throw him in a cage? Police? And earlier, you playing from the PNM hymn book, you say sub judice. Earlier, sub judice. Your lawyers earlier, the lawyers representing the police, admitted the factual matrix as pure truth of what took place in the abduction. They admitted that it was unlawful. They admitted that they did not have the paperwork. They admitted that, oh, what you ball in your car comment. Now, isn't it weird? If a prime minister really doesn't know, let's say you have rogue police officers or a rogue unit, and somehow they commandeered a CARICOM plane, and they got there and they got police in Barbados, in another sovereign nation, to kidnap a man and wait and hold him there and bring him and hand him. Let's pretend that the government, for a moment, just for fantasy, that the Prime Minister, the National Security Council, the Minister of National Security, no politician at any point knew anything whatsoever, and that the Prime Minister was not the one who started this whole furor about FUL, and police was running down gun dealer and ammunition dealer and businessman all over the country searching them. Let's pretend none of that happened. Wouldn't you want to know what went on? Wouldn't you be moving every minute, every day and talking to the media and trying to find out what the hell really happened that a citizen would get abducted like that? But you're going now to appeal the case and hear the grounds of appeal that the PNM put in. That when you, a citizen of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago with birth paper, whether regular or electronic, with a passport with the coat of arms on it, that when you utilize that passport and leave the airspace of Trinidad and Tobago, your constitutional rights cease to exist. You hear what the PNM Attorney General Lymore put as one of the bases for their so-called appeal, in order to say sub judice, we can't say nothing. That you, when you leave the country, some of all you who looking at this in Canada or in Houston and all over in England, wherever you are, your constitutional rights as Trinbagonians, that don't exist once you leave the listen. So so anybody anywhere in the world could do you anything. And we don't need a Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we don't need embassy, we don't need nothing, nobody to fight for your constitutional rights, because what the PNM say, once you leave the rock, you have no constitutional rights. You're laughing. That's your Attorney General, Reginald Lymore of the PNM. But judges on top of that, the PNM Minister of National Security, rather than coming out to find out, if you weren't involved, and you want to find out what them police do, them police real bad, but wouldn't you? He come out to attack the judiciary, and the judiciary hit back. Judiciary has condemned a controversial statement made by National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines alleging that criminals are friends within the fraternity. The judiciary broke its silence on the issue after 10 of the 16 High Court judges assigned to the Civil Division of the Supreme Court called for an official response from Hines' statement. Some of the judges said, if there is any inference to be made, one can argue, this is Justice Rampasad, can arguably say that general remark that criminals are friends in the judiciary was also a pointed attack at the author of the judgment, Justice Rampasad. The very fact that a remark can be made without any immediate response from our side that criminals have friends in the judiciary not only undermines the administration of justice, but impacts upon the security of each member of the judiciary who may be perceived as friends of criminals. Justice Karen Reed said, the remark was most unfortunate, and in this climate where it appears that the judiciary has been under continuous attack in political discourse, this matter must be swiftly and strongly dealt with. Justice Frank C. Prasad said, what is happening is simply unacceptable. With each passing week, the attacks and oversteps by the Honorable Minister of National Security continue unabated. In an email, Justice Ricky Rahim said he came to the same conclusion as his colleagues after watching Minister Hines' statement several times. I am of the view that this statement may be viewed as an incursion over the boundary between the executive and the judiciary, and as a stab at the heart of judicial independence, Justice Rahim said. It casts a wide net that may have the potential of bringing the entire judiciary into disrepute. It does not appear to be fair comment from which we are by no means immune. Other judges made a call for a retraction. Justices Carol Gobin, Joan Charles, Nadia Kangaloo, Eleanor Donaldson Honeywell, Avison Quinlan Williams, Justice Alison Ramkeri Singh, who presides in the Family Division, also called for retraction. But there were 10 out of 16 judges. 26 judges who didn't make a statement, didn't say anything. Why? You all thought that was okay? That a Minister of National Security overseeing a situation that began with the thwarting of a merit list and the collapse of the Police Service Commission, where Kamala Prasad-Visesa and the UNC were calling for a tribunal made up of judges like yourself to get down to the basis and the crux of that matter involving the Prime Minister, the President, and the chairperson of the Police Service Commission, who thwarted and breached Section 123(4) and thwarted a merit list that was duly approved by the majority of the Police Service Commission, thereby putting executive overreach and choice into the independent office of the Commissioner of Police. When that was thwarted, many stayed quiet. But look where we've reached now, where the judiciary is under attack by the PNM. Rowley says, I have nothing to answer for in the Brent Thomas matter. But if this was true, shouldn't you have spoken with Mia and her Attorney General and the Minister of National and their Minister of National Security? If you had nothing to do with it, Rowley, why you say you're going Barbados and you're not talking to me and so on? If you had nothing to do with it, shouldn't a responsible Prime Minister call in everybody and get all the information to find out what went on with this rogue abduction and breaching of constitutional rights of a law-abiding citizen in the Republic? You see, your actions show guilt. Because an innocent Prime Minister would have been hungry for information and ready to act to deal with those elements that could do and such damage to not only citizens but to the entire country. Rowley says, I have nothing to answer. I want to do what I normally do with the citizens of TNT, which is tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing. Archie, play a video. I need water. Play any video, next video. Go, Archie, play something. Oh God, go to Foster. Do something.
And I don't tell lies. I am prepared to stand the consequences of my actions, whatever they might be, and therefore I don't have to lie to get a better outcome. And I know that you will accept that from a Prime Minister who always tells you the truth.
Welcome back. No mere police matter, says the Express. Let me read it for you. The enormity of the transnational abduction of businessman Brent Thomas appears to escape Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley. In framing the incident as a police matter from which the government must maintain an appropriate distance, he completely misses the explosive implications of an incident that has ensnared the Barbados Police Service, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, the Regional Security System RSS, and the Ministries of National Security of both countries, including Immigration and Air Traffic Control. It also ignores the chain of command concerns regarding the process by which a police matter moves from the domestic into the foreign arena. An incredulous public is being asked to accept a bizarre series of actions, specifically that police officers, having contacted colleagues in another country, can without any high-level authorization at all secure an RSS aircraft as their getaway transport in a kidnapping. Further, that they can leave Trinidad on this aircraft and without hindrance enter Barbados airspace, touch down at Grantley Adams International Airport, take possession of a Trinidadian national abducted by Barbadian police officers, have him transferred onto the plane, and then be cleared for takeoff by air traffic control. The Express continues, which officials in Barbados and Trinidad and Tobago have the authority to approve the use of an RSS aircraft for such a mission, and who in these territories has the power to authorize the entry and exit of the plane, the officers, and their victims. And while this Express is doing this critical scathing editorial, the news they have, well, noise pollution is a public health issue. A shameful blot, says the Sunday Express. The shocking account of the police persecution of businessman Brent Thomas, as laid out in the judgment delivered by High Court Judge Devendra Rampasad last Tuesday, describes a gangsterism and hounding of a citizen that raises more questions than the judge could allow himself to ask. Grave concerns. Rowley say he in the dark. Rowley step in.